Automatic emailing of invoices as well as statements requires you to go and activate some settings. Now, Gail, if you've missed out on how to activate the settings to do the automatic invoicing, this is what you're going to have to do. All right. And it also applies to the Windows main because it needs settings in invoicing and main. And now my dogs has decided to play, of course, right here underneath my knees. If they make too much noise, please let me know. All right. To do that, in invoicing, you need to be in as a supervisor. Please remember, supervisor SUP is where everything gets done. If you're not in a SUP, you won't have the settings. So we're going to go to Setup, System, Application, Setup, Options. Right? Once it's done, you're going to go into the section that says Emailing. Now, if you don't want to scroll up and down, you can also quite simply just go say there, Emailing. And the minute you do that, it'll bring back the results where the word emailing was used in the actual detail sentence. First thing you're going to do, very, very important, is you're going to go and activate it. Very important, because if it's not on, it can't do what it is supposed to do, right? So activate it. The second thing then that we particularly like, and I'm like, why wouldn't you, is that you also have another button here that says automatic emailing override from address. Now this will be the default address that's going to show in that from box when you send either invoices or statements through. Okay. Now at this point in time, you're not done. I just selected the word emailing. So I'm just going to quickly close it. Can you see I closed it? So it still leaves me in my emailing with all my results, but it also gives me other settings. The other setting that you also need to be mindful of, because you're nice, obviously, is this nice setting here that says always check out boxes for all users. Now, please do me a favor and tick that little boxy. Basically, what it's going to do, it's going to share the workload, both for invoices and statements. And what it will do is it'll try and send them from whichever account it has at that particular time. Okay, so it just eases up the RAM and all of those kind of things. So it's a bit more, well, it's less heavy on your bandwidth, your RAM, your memory, the whole katoots. All right, so once you've done this, okay, you then need to go do another little setting. Please keep in mind, just because you've activated it, you still need to save it at the bottom. A lot of you are activating it, and then there's some click on the close. If you click on the close, it is undone. It is gone, and you have to do it all over. So please remember to click on Save. Save's done, screen's gone. Now your second setting that you need to do is we need to go and tell the system that, listen, yeah, this chick, we're going to put in some email addresses. So how do we do that? We're going to go to Setup, Company Tables, Branches. Please, if you don't have this activated and you need a password, you need to get it from your supervisor. If you are the supervisor and this was an old password from somebody way back when, you're going to have to phone Quick Software so we can reset it for you. But in your branch setting, you're going to go Options. Cool. And then under Clients, you are going to look for something that says Use extended client contacts. Now, if you are very fast with going through all of this, you will see it down here. But I'm a lazy person, so I would just actually say extended. Yeah. So what does it do? It takes all that gobbledygook and all the various settings away, and it says, I give you the result you want. Ta-da! And there it is. Double click. And very important, tick it. Use, no, not supplies, it should be client contacts. Where the hell am I? Sorry, at the top. Use extended client contacts. Make sure it is ticked. Once you're done, again, save is the magical thing. Right, so now once you've saved that, your hard work starts. And initially it's going to be a pain in the butts, but once it's done, you're going to love me and you're going to be like, woohoo, Quick Software, you're so awesome because I don't have to send out invoices. Yeah, I know. All right, you're going to go into your particular debtors setup. Now you can either go setup, clients, corporates, or you can just click on the three wise men at the top. Go look for the account that you want to change and simply double click on it. Now what you might or might not notice is you will now have an extra tab here called End Contacts. And it's supposed to be individual, but guys, can you see we would have run out of space here. So it's individual contacts, it's abbreviated. And in here, you now need to go and load these contact lists. All right, now this is applicable to invoicing as well as your statement. So you can somehow do both at the same time. All right, so what you're going to do to create a new one, you're going to click on New. It's going to ask you for a key. This is free format. You can put in whatever you want. If you want to put in numerics, you can. If you want to put in whatever you want to put in. I can do it A01 if I want to. Alphanumerical. I'm going to put in a name. I've already used Joe Soap. I need to think of somebody else. SpongeBob SquarePants. Right, now the following information in here, as you can see, is optional. You don't need to put it in, but it is always handy to do so. And if you have the information, please just put it in there. And I'm just going to say SpongeBobby is now my financial manager, and I have a telephone number for him. If you don't put it in, I'm not going to fight with you. It's absolutely up to you. But what is crucial, and it's not green at this stage, is this email address. Because obviously now, guys, we're emailing the invoice and the statement, so we need to give the email address. And Spongy, your email is SpongeBob at, where are we? We're Magic Cleaning. Cleaning.org. Right. Once you have entered the address and you either click your tab or your enter button, this will open up. Now, previously, you wouldn't have been able to capture anything in there. Why? Because it's like, well, you don't need me to give you any stuff now, so I'm just going to ignore you. And then the minute that email address is in there, it's like, oh my word, I better start working. And this is what this section is all about. Do we need to send old SpongeBobby vouchers? If the answer is yes, you're going to click the drop-down arrow and you're going to tell the system that you want to do a mail to. Now, when you see the word mail to, think of it as when you open up a new email, it's got the to, the CC, the BCC, and I don't know if there's another one, but yeah, you get the idea. So if you want it to be addressed directly to him, he's going to be a mail to. And you're going to do this, can you see here, for everything else. We've got invoices, we've got credit notes, receipts, as well as statements. So you're simply now going to say, what is this dude going to get? If he says to you, don't bore me with credit notes, then, well, then you're just going to take it off. Backspace and you get rid of it. Okay. So yes, it's going to take you a bit of time to go and set up and decide who gets what. But once it's done, it's cool. If you have like a secretary, let's say I have a secretary. I don't know who Kelly Mason is, if she's attended a session before. Sorry, Kelly. Maybe Kelly said to you, please, can you please just copy me in on the emails? You know, my boss keeps on losing his invoices, and then for us to do the expense claims and all of that nonsense, it just becomes a pain. Hi, Kelly. I love you to bits. I will do it for you because I'm super awesome. And you are, of course you are. If only Deirdre can spell. So now she's like, oh, and please always send me the vouchers. Oh, Kelly, I love you. I'm going to send you the vouchers. And you said you want a copy? Yeah, just a copy. So you don't want it to address? No, okay, cool, whatever. Guys, in case you're wondering, I'm having this whole imaginary discussion here with myself. Okay. And once it's done, simply click on Save. So now what you've basically done is you've now gone and you've created the setups for it. Now that's all great, fun and well, and you've added the email addresses, but you still haven't said to main module that, listen, you guys, from now on, you're going to pull up your socks and you're going to send those statements because I'm having tea. Okay? Lekker. Right. Please remember again, as with everything, save. Your last job is in the main module to go do the exact same stuff as we did in invoicing. We still needed to activate the automatic emailing, and then we also need to tell it that it must do the things it must do. So how do you do that? So now invoicing is done and dusted. Tick. Let's go into main. In main module, exact same thing. Make sure that you are logged in as a supervisor. Super important. If you're not logged in as a supervisor, you won't have access to this. Setup, system, application setup options. Okay, and now what do we have? We are also looking for emailing, because what are we doing? We want to email. All right, very important. Activate your automatic emailing. Can you see it's a tick? And it's done. All right, you then have the option, do you always want to check the out boxes for all users or not? Now, if you're having it with poor little whoever in the creditors department, who maybe by accident sent out a statement or whatever it could be, whether it was a referral debt or something like that, and you don't want to do her stuff, if you go and untick this, I promise you, you will only check it for your stuff. So you won't be sending out her statements and her love letters. So try and be nice, make sure it's ticked. The system will then check every 120 seconds. If you feel it's too soon, you can go and take it and make it 500 seconds, 999 seconds. However often you want the system to look at it, that's however often it will do it for you. And then, of course, again, automatic emailing override from address. Remember, if you're going to run this statement from yours and you don't have this override address in there, it's going to say from Deirdre@quicksoftware.co.za. If you wanted to say accounts@demotravel.co.za, whatever the case might be, then this is the place where you're going to go put it in. All right. Once you're done, you're going to click on Save, and again, click on that Save button in the system setup to have things done. Now, at this point in time, not much is going to happen. You'll agree with me. I have to wait until month end for this to automatically send out those statements based on the settings I did in the invoicing module. Or do I? The good news is I can run these statements to automatically be sent to my clients at any time. Please keep in mind, if it is in the middle of the month, it will say interim statement. But I can now, instead of me going still thinking I have to go file, print, inquiry statements, print, email, Joe, there you go, then inquiry state. Instead of me doing all of that stuff one by one, because now I have to wait until month end, guys, we've got magic buttons. Right, so now I want to run my statements. I'm not going to wait until month end. It needs to send it now. I need to get my monies in. You're going to go to queries. You're going to go into statements. And did you notice that Harry Potter left a little thing for you? This little button here will automatically run your statements for you. Now the screen has just gone over to the wrong side, so here you can see. It's going to be like, hi, can I please generate your email request for you for May? Would you like me to do that? Yes, you can say yes. Right, please note here, mine went back to my default of referral debtors because that's the last thing I trained on. So if I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to do referral debtors, it's now going to be my actual debtors. Select the information. You can limit it if you want to. I'm not going to limit it, but I want to send every single debtor now. Statements. Click on little Harry Potter over here and tell the system to generate it. And unfortunately for me, I only created one account. Can you see that one account I just created just now? It's the only one of 69 accounts that's going to get this email. Right, very important. Go activate and go load those account numbers in your invoicing module if you want this to work the way it is intended to. All right, but if I click on OK now, it's going to start running the reports for me. Okay, from here, it's going to generate them. Your last job then, to get them out of your inbox, you're going to go down from File to Email, and you're going to go to Process email requests. And this is if it's mid-month. So if I want to run my statements every week or every 2-3 days, file, email, process my email requests and start. And you can see here, it only found the one because I only loaded it on one of my 69 accounts that has balances on there. All right, my OK is screaming because I didn't activate my server settings. Now, if you're wondering where to activate the server settings, it's going to be under Setup, System, Application Setup Options. You should actually already have all of these. Can you see in here? You will be putting it in there. All right, I don't have email settings. I normally put mine into my outbox. But that's it. You can see it will really try and run and send it off to you. Doesn't take any rocket science. It's not difficult to do. The biggest job is you going into the invoicing in that particular data and assigning him the rights to receive statements. And that's it. Easy, hey? It's probably one of the easiest things you've ever done. Any questions?
That's wonderful news because we have to send ours out every 7 days to one specific client.
So what you will do, Daniel, I would go and set them up in the invoicing setup, and then really just remember, go queries, statements, little Mr. Harry Potter's magic wand over there, let it run, and then once you've run it, go to this file, email requests. And then also remember, if you have done it, it will show you in the register exactly what was done and how many documents was done, what was the email address. So it does show you what happened on it. Mine is red because of obvious reasons. I don't know what QuickDrive's SMTP server address is from my home. And I think we work on VPN, so it's not going to work. But at your place, it will. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Question, if we are on VPN, how do we set it up so that we can send out statements and invoices from VPN?
Daniela, are you already able to send out those emails and statements? When you go for your invoice, let me rephrase. If you are already straight from here, from your invoicing register, if you're already able to email straight from here, your settings are already set up for you. And you don't need to worry, you don't need to do that. If it's not, you need to phone your ISP provider and you need to say to them, hey dudes, I need to get my emails up and running. I need this SMTP stuff. And what we normally suggest you do, because they sometimes are like, oh, it's just a wada wada wada, and I'm like, I don't understand one single word you're saying. Trust me, I definitely don't. I'm always like, what the hell are you talking about? Then I would just say, listen here, here's a screenie, take a little screen dumpy, email it to them and say, give me the answers to what is a POP server address, a user, a password, what. I want all of this answers here, and they will then give it to you. Your ISP will definitely give it to you. And if they don't, I can't say change, but yeah, they must give it to you because then otherwise they're not IT. Okay.
Because the thing is, I can send individual invoices to myself, but like I said, on a daily basis at 4 o'clock, I'm not able to send all those other invoices to the clients from home.
Is it screaming at you? Is it throwing out errors? And it's quite possibly the answer is absolutely in this email server address. They need to give this entire section right up to there. They need to give all of that to you in order for you to send it. Who's your IT provider? Is it RTTC?
Yes.
Trust me, they're very good at giving it to you. I know we had a similar problem with another client who was connecting via VPN, and they added in some ports and stuff, and it was working beautifully afterwards. They will definitely be able to open it up for you. And if you want to, give them TeamViewer access and let them come and type it in. You know, sometimes they stick in there like, I don't want to give you the password. What? You know what they're like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then tell them, okay, fine, you come, this is where you need to put it in. And you just make sure they cover every single thing. And then, yeah, let them put it in and you test it. Whilst they're online, you test it. And then you can say, hey, dude, can you see this is not working? Fix it. But RTTC is very good at doing that. They've done it for quite a few of my clients.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Yay.
So it'll work for invoices and statements now. You can see the big thing is once you've activated it in invoicing and in the main module, that individual contact little screen is where you're going to give power to whoever's supposed to get the documents, whether it's an invoice, a credit note, a statement, a receipt, whatever the case might be. So yeah, go ahead and grab it. Any other questions? Yeah, this is very easy, guys. It's really no rocket science, eh?
Silly question.
Yes.
If you got an invoice and you've done a credit note towards it, a full credit note, for some reason, wrong hotel or whatever. Now, when you send out the invoices and statement, will it include those?
It depends on what you've made on the settings. Did you tell the system to ignore them or not?
No.
Okay, you need to check that. Give me a second. I can't remember where that setting is. There's a setting, and forgive me if I don't know all the answers. I know I work for Quick, but I'm not perfect, ne? I'm just little old me who was trying to remember my brains, yeah.
And turning on everything.
Yeah, I have got it on already. That's what worries me. Danielson, I actually think it's got something to do with somewhere Contra is ringing out at me. So there is probably a setting in here. Guys, yeah, sorry, you put me on the spot now, Bookie. But it's something to do with the Contras. Just check that out. Let's see if it's not an emailing. It might be an emailing. I'm not sure. Close. Go back into emailing. No. Okay, stop saying.
You know me, I like putting spanners in the works.
Yeah, I know you. I'm convinced you know everything. No, seriously, guys, I'm not being sarcastic.
No, not everything.
No, shush. Let me say, guys, he used to work for Quick Software, so he technically knows everything. I'm convinced he's coming on these things to ask us questions like he just asked us now, so that he can boomerang me, and then I have a nosedive and all of that. I'm convinced that's why he's joining these sessions. But we still love him.
I'm joining the sessions so I can learn some new stuff and what I'm not using.
I doubt you've learned anything, but yeah.
I learned a lot.
All right. Daniel, there is definitely a setting like that. It might actually default to it. Also check, where's the branch settings? Because in the branch settings, you might have something in there as well. I know I've seen it, so now I just can't find it.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll find it.
And if you do, then you send all of us an email, no?
Okay.
Linda's saying yes, Contra. So maybe Linda's saying yes, Contra. So I think it is that Contra thingy. Thanks, Linda. Love you. That was kisses and
Thank you.
I wasn't calling my dog. Okay. Anything else, everybody? Any questions? Anything you want to say?
No, that was great. Thank you.
Short and sweet and to the point. Okay, dokes then. Have yourselves a lekker afternoon. Do take care. Be safe. Until the next time. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
Cheers, Deirdre. Thank you.
Bye, Jan.
Bye. Have a nice weekend.
Oh, thanks, Joanna. You too. I hope it's not going to be too busy for you.
No.
That's good, my dear. Be safe. Bye-bye.